Back in 2015, I did something really crazy. I rode from Singapore all the way to the Czech Republic in Europe. And my tool for world domination is this humble-looking Vespa scooter. I get some naysaying things like, you need a bigger bike. You need a Royal Enfield. Your scooter is so small. And to be frank, it will not survive Manali-Leh highway road. I would say that, just reflect on yourself. Focus on what you have and not what you lack of. So the Vespa scooter is not just only my mode of transportation, but also my home as well. There was a period of time I was on a Bollywood movie marathon. I watched movies like Jab We Met, Three Idiots. During these Bollywood movie marathons that open up my eyes to the diversity and beauty that India has to offer. And when I went on to research the route, Manali-Leh highway is also known as the biker's paradise. And this journey took me to 25 countries and I covered 44,000 kilometers over 27 months. So hello everyone, my name is Juvina Huang. I come from a really tiny country called Singapore, which is 4,500 times smaller than India. So yeah, Singapore chota mukhe, yeah. Okay, so back in 2015, I did something really crazy. I rode from Singapore, which you can't see on this map because it's too small, all the way to the Czech Republic in Europe. And this journey took me to 25 countries and I covered 44,000 kilometers over 27 months. And my tool for world domination is this humble-looking Vespa scooter. So you can see how I packed on my trip. I carried everything with me from my camping gears all the way to my tools, spare parts. So the Vespa scooter is not just only my mode of transportation, but also my home as well. So I don't have to worry where I'll stay for the night. And so I'll bring you to my journey in India. There was a period of time I was on a Bollywood movie marathon. I watched movies like Jab We Met, Three Idiots, and many other movies. And it was during these Bollywood movie marathons that opened up my eyes to the diversity and beauty that India has to offer. And one of the places that really kind of inspired me to visit India was Ladakh. So I was reading up when I watched Jab We Met, Kareena Kapoor was dancing in Manali. Yeah, then Three Idiots, I saw that beautiful lake in Ladakh in the north. And when I went on to research the route, Manali-Leh highway, it is also known as the biker's paradise. And I told myself, when I go to India, I want to do it. And so, I have no idea how riding in the mountains is like. I come from a country where the highest point is only 162 meters high. So in India, you have 5,000 meter high roads. I went online and tried to get some information on how to tackle high altitude. I went to get my research done. Yes, I get some encouragement, but also I get some naysayer saying things like, you need a bigger bike. You need a Royal Enfield. Your scooter is so small, and to be frank, it will not survive Manali-Leh highway road. But I was undeterred. I understand that my scooter is far from the ideal bike from tackling the demanding terrain. But I make the necessary preparations to make up for the limitation it has. So you can, how do I go back? Yep, so you can see that on my Vespa scooter, I try to carry extra fuel to extend the fuel range. I also try to lighten some of my loads, like the camping gears, because I know I wouldn't be camping in that season, which was the September, October. So I offload some of my luggages, and I went with this scooter. So I managed to ride all the way from Manali to Leh solo. And along the way, I met so many people in the inhospitable terrain. They have shown me hospitality. And I would say one of the person that really make a profound impact on my life and journey is Sarab Kanduri. So I met him in a hostel in Leh, and he was a tour organizer who spent most of his time bringing people around Ladakh. So at the time when I was in Leh, I didn't know that the highest mountain pass back then was Kadung La, which wasn't too far away from Leh. And then he was encouraging me, saying that, hey, since you're so near the highest pass in the world, why not just ride up? I'm bringing a tour tomorrow morning. Why not just join us? But you have to go down yourself. Like, okay. And so we went up, but the weather was far from ideal. The sky was overcast with clouds, and the roads were still frozen with ice. On my way up, I fell 4 times. And it was Saurabh that introduced me to what jugaad it really is. Yes. Yeah, cheap Indian innovation. So over here, you can see that on my tires, we tied some nylon ropes to serve as snow chain. So that was the jugaad. So after more than an hour plus of riding, we finally made it up. So I was very glad that I didn't pay attention to the naysayers who say that my scooter will not make it, it will not survive. Because my motto is, if you never try, you will never know. Because it is better to have tried and know whether you succeed or not than to live with regret, thinking, what if I've tried it? So Saurabh, even after 8 years after I've left India, Saurabh has remained a very encouraging and important figure in my life. We still kept in touch, connected over phone, and recently when I came back to Mumbai, we reconnected again. So he has been a very supportive figure, not just in my riding journey, but also my life journey. And this is a photo taken in Deepavali, and there was like, Paji, thank you for hosting me in your place. Thank you very much for the hospitality. So we all had a great time in Mumbai during Diwali. A lot of times, we sometimes pay attention to naysayers in our life, and they will tell us things that you can do, you can't do. But ultimately, we have to answer ourselves whether we want to give an opportunity to try. And despite people saying that my scooter will not make it, the scooter made it. And there's this favorite quote that I like to share. It is always about the rider, not the bike. So next, I went on to the country, Pakistan. So I know that in Pakistan, doesn't have a very good, positive portrayal in our media. So before I left for the country, there were many people who told me that it's very dangerous out there. They like to kidnap foreigners. So you have to be careful, or please don't go. They'll kidnap you. And true enough, I was kidnapped in the country for 4.5 months. And these are the photos of my kidnappers. So I was kidnapped into homes. They sometimes don't want me to go. I say, hey, I need to leave tomorrow, And they'll say, no, stay one more day. It's very difficult to say no. And just like in India, they fed me so much. In India, I think I put on weight here. So I think the real danger in these countries is the danger to the waistline. So till to this day, I still kept in touch with a lot of the families that have hosted me. And a lot of times they ask me, Hala, when you coming home? Because they call me auntie. So I kind of felt like I've been accepted as a family there, even though that I'm just another person from another country. So a lot of a family has kidnapped me into their homes and kind of made me one of them. So you can see that I realized that when I went to these 2 countries, like India and Pakistan, I realized that actually these 2 countries has a lot of similarities. When I was in India, Ladakh, I met Saurabh. Saurabh was the one who introduced me to Coke Studio Pakistan. He loves listening to Coke Studio Pakistan songs. And when I was in Pakistan, I was watching Bollywood movies. So I can see that, these two countries, although there's a border divide, there's a commonality in enjoying the same music and also movies. And another one is also food. Yeah. So over here, there's a gentleman. He wanted to slaughter 2 goats to welcome my arrival until my host tell him, say, no, she's a vegetarian. And then finally, he pulled back, okay, I will not order the goats for her. So instead, we settled for dal and rice. And I told him that I really love lassi. So lassi and jalebi, they are not very good combination for riding. But there are also some of my favorite food, which I enjoy on both sides of the border. So you can see that, no matter where you're from, actually there are, a lot of us, we have more commonality than you think. As I travel across different parts of the world, I realize that actually most people in the world, they just want the same thing. They want peace, they want prosperity. They do not really want any trouble. They just want to live their life, be accepted, to stay connected with their family, friends, and just go on with our lives. So one thing that I really learned is that we should not let the politics of a nation shape the way we think about its people. And next too is the country of Iran. I would say that Iran is really a country of paradoxes. So over there, we know that as women, we have to cover up our hairs. We have to wear conservatively. And you can see over here, I'm being invited to a picnic with a family. Again, another country that is very dangerous to the waistline. So there's a lot of strict laws and rules. And like, for example, for me as a woman, I have to cover up my hair in my document and in the public as well. And also, alcohol is prohibited in Iran. So you can't get alcohol in the shops, but however, you can get Jack Daniels there. But if you look carefully, those are actually Jack Daniel barbecue sauce. Yeah. So, but, there is still alcohol there, but it's made in the homes of the Iranians. So on the right side, there is a bottle of moonshine. So for the very first time, I had to work so hard to get my wine because they had to make it at home. So my host was asking me, Juvina, are you free? I was like, yeah. Can you help us to extract some wine from our pot? Wow. And I had to wash my hands really clean because any traces of salt will turn the wine into vinegar. And we took out loads of grapes, fermented grapes, from the bucket and squeezed them on the strainer. Wow, it was really hard work. So for the first time, I had to work so hard to drink wine. And you can see that Iran is a country of paradoxes. The public image and the private image, they are very, very different. Although, yes, on the outside, women may be veiled up, they cannot dance, they cannot sing in the public. But behind the closed door, it is a very, very different story. So whenever I enter the homes of Iranian, they always tell me, if you do not want to wear your headscarf, feel free to remove it. I am not the government. I do not impose the headscarf on you like my government does. So people there, they respect the wishes and desires of guests over there. So they do not impose anything on me. And also behind the scenes is a very different story. Like for example, Roya, the lady on the extreme right, she's a volleyball coach. So sometimes I will tag along with her to volleyball training. And this volleyball training court are only open for women. So as I entered the volleyball court, and I saw streams of women coming in, they were all covered up head to toe, and they would just take off their shawls, and they would reveal very colorful, brightly colored hair, and then some of them will reveal really fanciful tattoos. So that is a scene that can't be publicized to the rest of the world, and I couldn't take any photos of that as well, because any photographs being publicized of them wearing this, it may get them in trouble. And then when they were playing volleyball, they were so enthusiastic. They were playing with their hearts out, shouting, crying. So this is a scene that I can only describe to you as a traveler, as a woman traveler, that the outside world may not be able to see, like not even men. And this is also an underground party. So although there is no nightclubs over there, but it doesn't mean that Iran doesn't have a night scene. So usually underground parties, you only know about it by word of mouth. So I managed to get into one of them. Again, same thing, you see everybody come dressed all conservatively. Once they enter a changing room, and out they come in the skimpiest, shortest skirt, sexy outfit, and start dancing and party the night away. And also, like, there was also a lot of alcohol and moonshine. So this is also another scene that is not publicized out in the world. So, and also one thing I've also noticed that Iranian women, they like to push the limit of the authorities. It is not uncommon to see women wearing their headscarf as far back as possible. I can see the lady over there. And so they always try to test the limit. I remember I had one friend, she was accosted for not wearing her headscarf properly. And when she was confronted by the police officer, she took out a cross necklace and flashed at the police officer. So the police officer was like, okay. Thankfully, she didn't get prosecuted. But I always constantly see women trying to push the boundaries. And I would say that Iranian women, they are really very brave. They really speak out a lot for their own rights. And that's also why you see that, the Masa Amini protest that was happening last year, most of the protests are led by women because, they are very, very hard-headed and we stood very strongly for themselves. And also, unfortunately, also women cannot really ride motorcycle in the public streets in Iran. However, there's this lady, she said, okay, since the government doesn't allow me to ride motorcycle legally on the street, I'll take it to the private track. So she trained herself in riding motocross, and now she's a professional motocross racer. Yep. So you can see that even in Iran, the young people and also some of the older people, they all earn for liberties, but these liberties is not easily available in all places. Some places you can express yourself more freely, some places you can't. But that doesn't mean that, we all don't have our own desires. So going to all these countries has taught me that, most of us, we all want to have the freedom to be ourselves, to make decisions for ourselves in what we do, in what we wear, and what we choose to believe in. So everywhere, people are mostly all the same. So over here, I have a video that I want to share. So that is a 1-minute video of my journey from Singapore all the way to the Czech Republic. So in conclusion, frequently we fall into the trap that we need the biggest and most expensive motorcycle to embark on a grand adventure. A lot of people tell me that, I can't travel cross country or around the world because I do not have the latest BMW. But I would say that, just reflect on yourself. Focus on what you have and not what you lack of. So take a moment to appreciate all the things that you have. And actually, an adventure is not an unattainable dream if you express it and tailor it in your own unique ways. Okay, do it in your own unique ways. Like for me, I'm a very, very petite woman. The big BMW bikes are really very big for me. So I go for a bike that's suitable for me, like a Vespa scooter. And it is a scooter that I'm very comfortable riding. I'm very familiar with it. I'm very comfortable with handling it. So, and that was why I chose the Vespa scooter, not a big, expensive motorcycle to bring me across the world. So I would say that, you are the owner of your own adventure, and no one else can dictate your own adventure. So one thing I want to like to conclude is no matter what motorcycle you ride, jika chabiso sisi kahuna chahiye. So, okay, those who don't speak Hindi, it means that no matter what bike you ride, it is the cc of your courage and your heart, okay? 2,600 cc that really matters in a grand adventure. So, thank you very much.